Hey everybody, welcome to the Coosa Kingfishers and Southern Slayers KFL event on Neely Henry Lake for the playoffs 2022. How you doing, Lance?
Not too bad. Just need some fish.
Yeah, beautiful day out there today.
Yeah, the air's cooler than the water.
Yeah.
And the water's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck. I'm gonna jump out here and eat my breakfast.
All right.
All right, man. I'll be back in.
Dude, there's a damn jet boat in here.
Hey, Jordan.
What's up?
Since you're up in that spot, I sent on the Facebook group. I sent you a spot to hit,
Gotcha.
which I don't. You might be
Hey,
right. Oh, dang.
Yeah, that's all I've caught too this morning is freaking dinks.
Yeah.
I don't think I caught a fish under like 16 and a half inches the last time I was here, and crap, I can't get it. I can't get any bites. How's that look, Dan? I can't hardly tell.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good, man.
My motor done fried out on me. I think the wires are about half melted.
Dang.
Always something. But the fish are very aggressive this morning.
Yeah, good. All right, I'm gonna hop out. Yes.
Oh, there's a bite. Little buzz bait. There was a daggone boat back here.
they'll do all they can to get shallow.
Ah. Yeah, it was impressive. I don't know if they're probably a little behind on the duck hunting program this morning, but it looked like a stump jumper boat, not necessarily like a bass boat.
Duck season open yet?
There's been enough shooting for it to be open this morning, I promise. maybe teal season, I think Lambert said.
Uh,
Gentlemen, what is going on?
What's up, Greg?
How's everybody doing?
Good. How you doing?
It is cold up here, man. Actually feels awesome. You guys are laying it to them this morning.
That's Coley dominating.
Oh, I know, man. Good God.
You know, we've seen him do a lot of stuff, but even on our group text, I checked right before I jumped on here. Even our group text was like, "Holy crap, Coley!"
Dude, I'm telling you. I mean, I'm judging these fish, and I'm like, I mean, even nationwide, he's destroying the entire nation right now. He's on some good fish. Oh, there you go.
Last time I was here, I don't think I caught a fish under 16 inches. And today I have caught 3 fish that have not even probably been 13 inches.
Wow.
It's a little confusing considering I don't exactly fish here a whole lot.
Right. Jordan, you fishing Pickwick for bass?
Yeah, planning on it. You going to be there?
I don't know if I can. I'm trying to get there, man. I would love to, but man, I don't know if my schedule can work out.
If my bite is similar to how it was, it's going to be tough. It's a 1 day, ain't it?
I believe it's 2. Let me look here.
I would love for it to be 2 because if it's a 1 day, I'm probably my spot that I've got doesn't particularly suit a 1 day deal because there's not very many big fish. They're all just like 17 inches.
Right.
If it's 2 day, I think I would. You know, if it is 2 day, I think I've probably got a pretty good shot at coming home with some chump change on that one.
Right on. Yeah, I think it is 2, man. Let me look that up.
That would be great, honestly. That'd make my day.
Yeah, it's one of those. I thought it was one of those.
I'm pretty sure it is, Jordan.
That's fantastic. I thought it was 1 day.
Let's see. Pickwick is Saturday and Sunday, bud.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yes, sir. There's 41 people signed up for it so far. Mr. Perry.
What up?
What's going on, man?
Nothing.
Just in here watching the show, man. Coley McGowan is putting on an absolute slobber knocker fest right now.
Yeah, man. He's been on. He's angry. He's fishing angry.
Yeah, I don't want to piss him off, man.
Now?
Like 120 inches by himself. He just threw a 19 on the board.
He gonna tell them Florida boys to go home early.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not in his area today, so I guess the other team gave him the wrong spot.
Yeah. Oh man. Gave him the wrong juice, man. Gave him that grapefruit juice when they wanted apple juice.
Yeah, or either that or they went in there yesterday and tried to sore lip him and didn't do a very good job.
Yeah. You know, you can't fish other people's fish, man. You got to go find it yourself, man. You know what I mean?
It's hard to do. It's hard to catch other people's fish.
It is.
Yeah.
That it is.
All right, I'm gonna let y'all be. I bought one of those little Chinese Nintendos for $20, and me and my kid's about to play some Nintendo.
Right on, man.
That's awesome.
I was absolutely the best at Tecmo Bowl, man.
Oh, that their game.
Tecmo Bowl was my jam.
Yeah, I don't know if there'd be a river. I don't know. It was like it wasn't a real popular game, but that one for some reason was my jam. Like if they had the Nintendo, with Power Glove, like the championships were. I would have won that one.
Yeah, man. It was. We used to have like parties at the house, man. It was awesome. I would have all these football helmets and stuff, and plastic football helmets you get out of the gumball machine, and all my friends would come over. We had like 12 or so kids, and we had like this bracket, football tournament, and we would just pick a helmet out of a basket or whatever. You had to play that team for the rest of the night, man. It sucked if you had the Colts or the Redskins, but if you had the Bears or the 49ers, man, or Raiders, you were set, man. It was awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cool. Well, I'll be watching back here.
All right, man.
Oh.
Swing and a miss.
What was crazy is I got a bump and something blew up behind me at the exact same.
Jordan, your thoughts on a 15-year-old whipping our tail at Dardanelle, man?
Man, that's kudos to him. I know there's a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about that. Regardless, I mean, I'm impressed the kid measured 10, that many fish, in 2 days successfully and didn't have a problem.
Why would people be upset about that, man? I don't get why people would be upset about a 15-year-old winning.
Well, I don't think it was the fact that he's 15. I think some people were just, probably a little sore that his dad's a pro and local, and some people think that Fred was out there, in his boat, kind of coaching him up all day. I don't know. I didn't see him. I don't know. I wasn't there. All I know is I had a lot more inches than I expected to have when I went down there, so I was happy.
Yeah, no, of course. Well, I think Joe McElroy was saying his parents were up on a cliff or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't there. That's not my business.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I get it. Yeah, it was that Main River was terrible, man. I mean, it was so bad.
My fish were Main River in practice, and I went out there the first morning, and it was just gone. I mean, it went from being really active, a lot of bait fish in this one big river, to just nothing. I was fishing there, with a lot of islands, and man, in the outside bends of those islands, there were fish there, and they were bait. If you could find a little hole near one of those bars, shallow bars, it was on. And man, you get out there and there's no bait, there's nothing popping. I'm throwing a jackhammer, I'm throwing top water. It wasn't. And I went to the back of that creek and I fished back there 30 minutes maybe. And when I got to this kind of juicy looking spot, a little hole, it started getting deeper, and I caught my 75 inches or whatever I had on day one, 76 inches. I had that in 20 minutes from the first fish to the fifth.
Oh my. Wow.
And I'm like, oh dude, I just found a spot to cash a check in. I uploaded my fish. I was in like 6th or 7th. I was like, holy crap. I said, I might have a chance to win this, just the way this place is tough, or nothing else, just get a good check.
Right.
So I leave it alone. As I'm leaving it alone, I see Russ Snyder's going in there, and I'm like, okay, well, this will be interesting. I said, Russ, what you got? And he said, oh, I just caught one little 14-inch fish just a minute ago. And I was like, okay. So I didn't think nothing about it. I wasn't going to be like, hey, man, don't fish this spot, whatever, because I was going to go try to look for some other fish. Because it was like 10:20 when I left.
Right.
And end of the day, I see Russ is in like 7th place. I was in 3rd, and Russ had like 82 inches. And I was like, oh, my gosh, like, Russ just caught all those fish. That place is probably screwed, whatever else. So
right.
Me and Russ go back in there the next day, and it was really shallow to get back there. I mean, I had to push pole back there in my hobie, like pull the drive out and push pole back there.
Yep.
And it was just so silty. And Russ had his wilderness, and he had his paddle, and just a handful of rods. I mean, he didn't have crap in that boat. And he basically just paddled right over it. I mean, he barely even slowed down. And I was like,
he's gonna beat you to the spot.
Oh well, that, and I get back there, and I wouldn't have beat him in there anyway, just because he I mean, at the end of the day, he was in 7th, and it wasn't like we were 7th and 8th. We were 7th and 23rd or whatever. So I just wanted to go back there and try to catch some fish, and I got in there, and he was kind of sitting where I wanted to go. I wanted to go right past it, and I just kind of sat back there and waited for him to kind of fish it. And I literally just fished behind him for the first, 30 minutes after we could start fishing. And it was driving me insane. And he took off up the creek and passed right over a spot where I'd caught fish. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I don't know if he knows there's, the fish there or what, if he had a better spot. I mean, he probably did. I don't know. But he goes back up the creek, and I sat out there in that spot, and I had over 80 inches in an hour after I put a line in the water.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this is cool, And then Next thing I knew, I had like, 81, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, 81 on day 2 of Dardanelle,
That's huge.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I caught that 20 and a half, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this for real right now? Like, that's a freak. That was my second or third time to Dardanelle, and I don't know if I've caught a fish bigger than 18, right?
Right.
So I said, oh my gosh, that's big time. Of course, when I saw it, after looking at 14-inch fish for 2 days, 15, 16-inch fish, I thought that fish was like a 25 by looking at it. As soon as I saw it, I said, oh my gosh. I said, that's
because you're used to catching like 16s all day.
Yeah. I thought that fish was a giant, and it ate fairly close to the boat. I was fishing something that looked a lot like this. It was a creek, and it was fairly narrow. Little more narrow than this, kind of like where probably when you first hopped on the narrower section of this that I was in, kind of like that. And so I'm like, it ate close to the boat. I mean, it was a great bite too. I mean, it knocked slack in the line. I set the hook, and I didn't even reel for like a couple seconds, and I was just basically just trying to keep the fish from running like crazy and try to figure out. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I've got a freaking catfish or something. Then it came up and jumped, and I was like,
oh,
holy crap. Yeah. I mean, it was 110% adrenaline after that.
Sure.
I was not expecting to get anything like that in there. Because I mean, I knew Russ had some better fish in there the day before, but still, there was nothing big caught back there. There was a bass boat back there too.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just blowing through the silt and mud.
Yeah.
Was running, reasonably wide open through that mud and just blowing it everywhere. And I was like, man, I wasn't expecting to see a bass up back here.
No kidding.
Crazy to get back here, but if I keep winning tournaments back here, this is where it's at. And I was like, oh, like I'm just gonna keep fishing this if it's worth it for this dude to run a bass boat through 3.
Yeah, no doubt.
Back here.
I mean, I was just, we're used to tidal waters here. Potomac River up and down. Water depth and stuff like that, man. But I was shocked on how much they dropped the water on day 1, man. I was on this flat by Goose Island, and running top water off it and flipping reeds and stuff. And I was like, I circled the island like 2 or 3 times, and I kept on going across this flat, and it was at least 2 feet deep the first time I went around it, and then I'm in the second time I had to like basically flutter my pedals, across the flat. I'm like, man, they dropped this water like a foot already. It's crazy how quickly they dropped this water.
Yeah, it was not ideal. I noticed the same thing that morning. I was like, man, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
That's the problem with a lot of fisheries, man. Those wildlife places, all a lot of the places like TVA and whatever. I get it that. I get it that they have to run current based on energy needs, and I'm by no means complaining. I understand what their job is, but man, if they could leave that stuff alone, I mean, there's a lot of really good fisheries that A, have grass, and B, have a lot more stable water levels throughout the spring, and spring most importantly, but as far as just year round, it's just a lot more stable.
Right. Yeah. Did you see MLF's schedule come out?
Yes and no. I know there's a couple events, that I saw that were close to me, and a bunch of our local guys were all excited to see it. And to me, I don't really care, where they fish. I watch it occasionally, when I don't have anything to do. But
yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, I just assume them not come to Chickamauga is actually come to Chickamauga.
Yeah. They had some interesting choices, man. I mean, it's a pure numbers game for them, of course, and they picked out lakes. I thought that was like, man, they really don't want a lot of big fish being caught. I mean, it's just like, Guntersville, it's hit or miss anymore, man. It's been overfished. Those pros need to let that place rest a little bit.
Guntersville's my favorite place on the planet. I was actually on it last night.
It is. It's such a great place, man. Love it.
It's a lot of fun. As soon as I leave here, I'm driving back to Guntersville. I'm actually fishing the Tennessee Valley Kayak Anglers Classic and it's a 48-hour Ironman event. And
Oh.
so there's guys fishing against me right now, and I'm on the incorrect lake.
I would say, man, that's pretty cool though. 48-hour Ironman, huh? That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's I've never done worth a crap in it ever because a lot of it's won at night, and I just do not like fishing at night. I'm not good at night. I don't like it.
Right.
I've had some close calls on the water at night, and it's not fun to me.
Yeah.
But I'll go and fish the mornings, and normally I fish all day Saturday, but I'm gonna fish. I fished last night till about 9, caught one good one, and I'll fish tonight into the evening, get some sleep, and hit it hard first thing tomorrow morning.
Right. Man, you ought to do Pickwick, man. I think you'd be a favorite at Pickwick, man, for sure.
Oh yeah, Pickwick is definitely on. I'm not signed up, but I'm going to that. I've been looking forward to that since I saw that come out, because that's got a lot of potential. If nothing else, I'll have a whole lot of fun there, even if I don't do super great.
So the TOC is a second week in November, right?
Yeah, that sounds right. The second weekend in November.
Mm-hmm. That ought to be prime for freaking Caddo, man. Those fish ought to be fired up.
I hope so. That's I've heard really good things about Caddo. I've only been on Caddo one day in practice. I practiced there the national championship and really wasn't impressed the day I was there.
Yeah.
But everybody knows what lives in Caddo, whether it's everybody knows what is capable to be caught there for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's hit or miss like anywhere else. I mean, there are some giants that live in Caddo, but are they restricting just the Caddo Lake, or are they allowing it the other fisheries around it?
I'm fairly certain it's just Caddo.
Okay. Yeah, with 50 guys, that makes sense. I mean, it's such a big lake.
I mean, crap, from what I understand, there's been 50 guys at one boat ramp there at Caddo for that national championship a couple years ago.
Yeah. I know exactly boat ramp you're talking about. I was there.
I refuse to do that, but that'll be somewhere that I check out when time comes to go down there.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite parts of the fall is that you get into championship events. The hard part is getting to championships, in my opinion, because once you get there, a lot of the people that know that they're there, they know how to practice.
Yeah.
They know not to sore lip a bunch of fish. There's a lot less people to sore lip fish in the first place. So
yeah.
Once in my opinion, the hard part is getting to a lot of these things. I really like fishing in the fall. It's a good chance for me to throw moving baits and cover water and try to dissect fisheries a lot quicker than I can in the spring,
mm-hmm.
especially in the winter.
It's definitely my favorite time to fish, man.
Yeah,
I just absolutely love it.
Hopefully I can figure something out here. Not that Coey needs the help right now, but
yeah.
I did drive an hour down here this morning to try to be helpful anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Anything counts, man. Arkansas Hogs are winning against the Virginia Reapers, man, by an inch.
Really?
Inch and a half, yeah, on Blackwater. That is shocking to me.
Yeah, I kind of counted them out, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, they only fishing 3, but Corey Hopper's actually doing some work. Bronsback's trying to make a little comeback. They've cut the score in half. Slayer's just put one on the board. Let me see. Matt just put up a 17 3/4.
That's a solid fish for here.
Yeah, solid. It is a spotted bass too. That's a solid spot.
That is a solid spot. I'm about to pass some of this up, and I'm going to put a fish on camera up here because I think there's a spot that might have a little action.
There you go. Jordan, what do you look for, man, when you're in these creeks, man? You looking for like current breaks, ambush points? I mean, what do you try to spot, man?
Honestly, it's I like fishing creeks once it gets kind of later in the day, so it's still early for kind of what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of what I want to do is find patches of depth where it doesn't look like they're random patches of depth, and shade is kind of my deal.
Gotcha.
Right now, I'm just kind of looking around, trying to learn this place a little better. I happen to see this pile of cane. I don't know if you can see this right here.
I sure can. Yep.
Pile of cane.
Yep.
When we were here the only other time I guess I've really been here, I had 2 fish come out of this, and one of them was, I think, the biggest fish I caught when I was here for KFL, and I had another one that I think might have even been bigger that broke me off. So just from a historical aspect, I'm gonna fish this fairly well.
There you go.
We're gonna see what happens. See if we can't get something on the camera instead of piddling around fishing all this other stuff. I'm gonna. And there's really, this whole thing is really just flat. There's nothing in here. There's no stumps in the middle. There's not a lot of grass except just on the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of lay down. So it looks like there's a little bit of depth on this side of this little random pocket. So we're gonna try to. It might actually be too shallow. I think there was water might be a little higher when I was here a month ago.
When you break down a creek, Jordan, in the fall, man, I mean, you like to go straight to the back, or you like to go mid creek or the mouth?
Honestly, I like to go straight to the back.
Yeah.
I'm in a pretty big creek, so I don't know if I can even get to the back. There's a couple creeks here, and I'm trying to get to the back of one or the other. I was just planning on just going and covering a lot of water this morning, and I had some motor issues, so I'm just trying to. I'm going to probably fish this a lot slower than I probably want to,
mm-hmm.
which is fine because I've done enough fishing in creeks and just tournaments in general that it doesn't seem to be, as even though I found that little spot where there was 3 small ones this morning that absolutely just, I mean, they would knock slack in the jackhammer when they would eat it. It doesn't seem to be that there's a lot of active fish in this creek, and I don't know if that's the watercolor is kind of clear in one spot and dirty in another. I mean, it's fairly dirty here, but where I caught those fish, it was fairly clear.
Right.
So honestly, outside of just giving this a fair shake and look at, because I knew I've had some fish at this particular spot. I mean, outside of that, I'm most looking forward to going. That was a dumb cast. Outside of that, I'm basically just waiting to go back out to that clear water.
Mm-hmm.
But to try to break that down a little more. I couldn't pass this up knowingly because I didn't know if that's if that was like a resident fish that stays back here, or if there are resident fish in this random pocket. Because I don't think a boat can get in here. I mean, there's a lot of jet boats and stump jump boats and all sort of that stuff here on this lake, but I don't know if this is somewhere that gets overlooked. But we had to keep it honest, and that's half of what tournament fishing is getting a hunch and keeping it honest.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to turn around. You can actually see how shallow this is. This is a lot shallower.
Yeah, it's super shallow.
Because it's, see if I can turn this around somehow. You can probably see over there where my trail is from all that.
Yeah.
Duck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So little too shallow. I don't regret coming in here. I didn't really waste a whole lot of time.
Right.
But since we know it's shallow, I'm going to focus on the mouth of this thing as I go out. Just a little extra, just in case, because if those fish just don't want to be in here, it's too shallow.
Is that shad busting on top?
Yeah, this thing is absolutely freaking full of bait fish. That's one of the reasons I came in here. I mean, there's a bunch of fish over there because I keep them honest, but there's a lot going on in here, and especially with the change of water color. I mean, the main part of this creek's fairly clear, and this just was randomly muddy.
Right.
So I had to keep it honest.
No, absolutely. I mean, what's your thoughts, man, about fishing around live bait like that, man? I mean, me personally, I don't like competing with live bait, man. It's just so hard to fish when you have a bunch of bait around, man. I try to find something that's a little bit more sporadic, I guess, but a lot of people love fishing it.
Yeah. Yes and no. If I'm in somewhere like this and I see bait in a creek like this, it's a good thing to me, because some of these creeks you can go up to, they're just dead. I mean, there's water running through them, but there's nothing actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere like this where there's actually bait in a creek, I'm down like a clown, trying to figure out what's in there. It gives me, if there's bait, there's a lot more chance of there being fish in here, and that's, some creeks just don't have fish in them.
Yeah.
no matter what you do, they're just not going to be.
There you go.
I think that was a tree. If I was willing to bet.
I got you. Boy, you've cast a rod a time or two, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I sling it around. We're out here like Peyton Manning, just slinging.
I was like, you hitting those holes, man, skipping it around, man. It's pretty good, especially on the bait caster.
Brett Favre. I'm just out here. I'm slinging it as hard as I can sling it as many times in a day as I can. So
I hear you, man. That's it. Keep your bait wet, man. Keep your bait wet.
I stopped to fish that because there's a little pocket right there, almost like a little beaver dam pond.
Yep.
You know, just little things like that just stick out. That's really what I'm looking for more than anything.
Sure.
I know around the corner to the left, there's a pipe coming in, and that's actually where I'm headed next.
There you go.
And then I'll probably go back there a little ways to where y'all saw me last time around that bridge when I was on the line.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna fish that stuff, and I'll fish, 100 yards in front and 100 yards behind it, on each side of it, and kind of get a feel of, do I think they're doing this? Do I think they're doing that? If I don't get another bite, then I've either got a choice to go way up the creek or go back down to the mouth where I had those 3 smaller bites and see if I can break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And honestly, I might just need to go to a different creek.
Right.
Half the reason I came here is because there's two creeks here. This creek was a lot better than the last creek last time, but that doesn't mean this could be the spring creek and that could be the fall creek for all I know. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know, man. It's it changes every year too, man. I mean, it's what's frustrating and great about fishing, I guess. You just never know, man.
Oh, 100%.
Virginia Reapers just took the lead over Arkansas. That's been back and forth, man. It's been a fun matchup to watch.
As much as I mean, obviously they're a good team because they made it to the playoffs. But to be fair, I would probably rather fish against Virginia than Arkansas.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially the team that we had to face, man. Jesus, that was insane.
Yeah, that was a tough draw for y'all to get a team. Arkansas is a fantastic team. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
But Jordan, the way I looked at it, man, the way that Dardanelle was fishing, I thought that was prime for us to be able to compete against that team. You know what I mean? How tough that freaking place is. If it's a grinder, like we're used to grinders, man. I mean, that's just what we do. But it just wasn't meant to be, man. We just couldn't get not only size, but I mean, it was 14 and a half dink fest for us all day long. It was crazy.
Yeah. I even told somebody, I said, y'all put up a respectable number. It's not like y'all came down there and had a bad tournament down there.
Yeah.
For Dardanelle standards, I mean, it was a solid day. It's just, they had an unbelievable day. I mean, if you look at the 2-day totals of the guys that fished both the KFL and the Hobie, man, everybody on their team did way better on Saturday than they did Sunday.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, Garrett, led Hobie with 89 inches, and he was on their team. So, right. I mean, what could we do? It was
There's not a whole lot you can do against 89 inches.
No, not on Saturday.
I don't think I had 89 inches on day 2. I think I had like 87 and a half or something like that.
Yeah, but I was telling Blake, I was like, we were dealing with something with the Pennsylvania game on Sunday, and I was like, I didn't bother going out day 2 for the Hobie. I was like, with 3 fish, why go out there and try to mess around with people's fish, But I was like, Jordan is fishing a different lake, man. There's just no way today he's putting up 86 inches, man. He's on juice.
I was in the exact same spot, which is crazy. And
that is crazy. That's crazy.
Kudos, I wish, hindsight's 20/20, but I think if I had to change one event in the last, few years, Dardanelle's probably second on that list outside of Eufaula. I wish I'd have done a couple things different at the TOC at Eufaula, of course. But
that was such a brutal. I mean, Eufaula's turned into a shithole.
Yeah, Eufaula is not a fun place to fish. If I had to sit down and choose where my least favorite event was this year, I think it's probably Eufaula, and it's probably Eufaula by a long shot. Honestly. Yeah. I've been on some unbelievable lakes. I've stayed on some really good lakes this year. And I have fished some terrible lakes over the last couple of years. And Dardanelle this year, Eufaula this year was an absolute trash can.
It is. I mean, it's getting worse and worse, man. I don't know. I mean, it's ever since they killed the grass out of there, man, they have just ruined that lake.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's, we face the same problem in Knoxville with lakes that get sprayed and they turn to crap. But you have to leave the grass alone. I mean, that's about as important of a thing for a bass as it gets, as far as having what kind of fishery you want to have. And they've started spraying Watts Bar, strangely enough.
Wow.
Is right above Chickamauga.
Yeah.
Watts Bar used to be one of my favorite places to go fish anywhere. I would rather go fish it than Chickamauga. And it's the same distance to me, right? They started spraying the grass on Watts Bar, and it's become an absolute garbage can. I would almost as soon fish Eufaula again.
Well, see, all that comes downriver, though. And, like Gunnersville, when they start putting all that crap down, they kill all that milfoil and hydrilla, and now you get this eelgrass problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The eelgrass is hard to kill, and it's, I don't know, it has a lasting effect, man.
Yeah, I like Gunnersville. I wish they'd leave it alone. That's probably about as favorite of a place for mine.
Oh, it's amazing. I might retire down there, man. I love it.
I don't blame you. That's a solid game plan.
Yeah, Scottsboro is a great little town.
Oh, there we go.
You got one? There you go.
Well, I don't know how good. Scoreable. Scoreable. It probably ain't gonna matter the way Coey's catching fish.
Oh, it matters, man. Trust me. Everything matters. You never know, man. He hasn't put one up in about 15 minutes, man. So everything matters.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. 15 minutes. He ain't caught one.
Well, I'm sorry. He just put one up, a 19 and a quarter.
What's our minimum? 15 or 14?
14.
Well, this one don't matter anyway. So
yeah, Coley is on absolute fire.
That would be my fourth fish under 14. And it's crazy to me because, I mean, like I said, I didn't catch a fish under probably 16 inches the last time I was here, which, for here, you catch a limit of 16-inch fish, you're going to win a lot of tournaments. And, I mean, I caught probably, I probably had, mid-80s when I was here the last time for KFL on 5 fish. And,
yeah.
I was like, man, I said, I don't know why y'all hate, people hate this place, because Coley's jacking them. And my first time here, I caught them fairly well, especially considering I didn't know anything about the place. And you get here now and it's 13, 14, 13, or, 13, 13.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't smart. Try to give it the old backhand.
Coley's best 5 right now stands at 92 and a half.
That's great.
Yeah, he's on them.
If we get 180, then I'm going home early. Not home early. I'm going to Gunnersville. If we bust 180, I'm going home. I'm going somewhere else.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you one bit.
As much as I respect the other team, they put up.
Turn out the light, the party's over, right?
Yeah,
you can't match 17s with 19s, man.
What do you say?
I said you can't match 17s with 19s. Expect to win.
No. I don't think anyone's had, over 160 on the lake except us. So I could be wrong. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I fished so much stuff. It took me forever just to find an identifier this morning in my truck. Because I've only been on the water about half an hour before I got on here.
Wow, man, he's on a mixed bag of spots and largies. That's a good fish. It's a long, skinny fish. That's a good kayak bass.
How many does he have?
Bro, he's got 139 and a quarter inches. He's got every single fish. 2, 4, 6, 8 fish so far. He's
I don't
smoking.
do other than just laugh and try to put one fish on the board. I'd like to put one on the board.
Yeah.
Somebody call Coley and tell him to leave me one.
Oh man, that is insane. You also have Joe fishing today, right?
Yeah, Joe's in some juice too. He got a nice long treacherous drag to his boat launch this morning. So
I got you.
I told him I said Lance is always on fish, and he's fantastic here. Coley's obviously Coley, and Joe's putting in the effort to get to some magical juice that not a lot of people get to even here with us. So I'm excited to see what happens today with Joe.
I'll be honest with you, like with the temperature drop and the cold front came through, I didn't think it would be anywhere close to this score right now. That's awesome. It was 47 degrees here this morning.
Oh, I love that. I think it
Me
was
too.
51. I think where I was staying last night. I actually stayed in Scottsboro last night.
Oh, there you go.
Lance, you whopper plopper, and is that what I hear? Is that a whopper plopper?
It is. I finally had one follow it back to the boat. They don't want it. First,
I had one kind of swipe at a buzzbait this morning, but it didn't feel very committal at all.
I caught 2 shorts on it this morning. Picked it up. Nothing's looking at it for just now.
I just pulled a very amateur move. I just broke off a jackhammer.
Uh-oh.
A hook set, and I don't even think it was a fish. But all I got to do is find my line.
Lance, you're going old school with that paddle, bud.
Yeah, I'm going light. I've wanted to keep my options open. I might just, if this creek don't act up here in a minute, I'm going to pull out and make a long haul to another one.
There you go.
So I wanted to keep it.
The one time I would like a 360. I found my jackhammer. It's on a floating stick, and I had a bad spot in my line.
Crisis averted.
Maybe.
Well, boys, I'm gonna leave you too. I'm gonna go see what's going on with the Arkansas Hogs Virginia Reapers game, man. Good talking to you guys. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right, man.
Have a good one, Greg.
Yeah, man.
Glad that was a log and not a fish I just broke off on.
Better to find it on the log than on the fish.
No joke. Now I'm paranoid. This is fresh line. It's only been on here this week. I just put it on Tuesday. I'm a little afraid. Might have got some bad line.
And my bigger fish are definitely in a funk.
I don't particularly know. I fished everywhere. I've caught my 3 fish that counted last time, so I'm a little confused on what to do now. I've got one more spot that I had a good bite at the last time I was here, but
Well, the sun just now kind of got on me, so I'm wondering how many times the fish has followed it back to the boat, and I just didn't see them.
oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Had a couple big striper follow it back too.
Oh really?
I don't want it right now though.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back up this creek some and see what happens. I'm sure that seems to be the play if Coley's wrecking them like he's wrecking them, and you're at least getting some action from quality fish, whether they're following it or not. I gotta do a little swapping up here.
I caught 4, but they've all been short. So I don't know. I may or so if I don't get something, pull out and go to my other spot.
I'm committed to this. I'm not loading up. I'm probably gonna load up 2 more times today, just going to Gunnersville and everything else. So I'm here. I'll either go to that other creek that's close or stay here.
Yeah.
I see big blowups everywhere, but I keep throwing the stinking buzz bait, and they don't want to go after it. They'll swipe at it and not even get it. I need to throw that plopper, I guess. I'm getting about confused going around all this place. I can't half remember how to get around here. I'm somewhat of a maze here, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Places got plenty of stuff going on.
It looks just like where I was at Dardanelle, though, and that's really why I wanted to come back here. Swap to the old big fish jackhammer. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully they're not just eating that one color. Have you seen any more competitors up there, Mr. Coley? Or yeah, Mr. Lance Coley.
Yeah, I'm following Matt up the creek.
Oh, really? What do you think, Lance? You think I'm better off going up this creek or going up the other creek?
Are you?
I'm in Dan's Creek right now.
I don't know. The other one gets real skinny this time of year. I mean, they might be in there, but you're probably gonna run out of water.
That's fair. Keep going up this one. I'm already.
Yeah, I haven't been back there in a month, so I don't know what the water looks like. But if you go past that what is it, the car bridge that you went on, you drove to one time, right whenever you go in between that bridge and the next bridge is the best section I've found.
The bridge that's like in town.
Well, that one all the way in the very back of it is where I caught my biggest one last time. There was a run in at the very, very end of that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, at the water was, it had rained and it hadn't rained in a little bit, but there was a run in at, I mean, at the very, very, as far as you could possibly go.
How long would it take me to get to something like that in this creek?
You mean like in the back?
Yeah, how long would it take me to get to skinny water here? Because I fished and fished. I went to the second bridge last time in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's that creek's pretty big.
I got you. That's fair.
Maybe 30 minutes. Motoring?
Well, that's the problem. I have no motor.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was pedaling last time, but it's a ways back there. There's a place on the left hand side that where there's a bunch of rocks and stuff, and like it's kind of like big concrete and rocks on the left hand side going back in there.
But the other creek or the creek I'm in?
The creek you're in.
I
That
got
Colby said that's where his father-in-law catches them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Keep on going back then.
Yeah. I pulled it away from a couple big stripers.
Yeah.
Striper curse with these KFL. That's all I can catch sometimes. Yeah.
I do appreciate how much hard bottom there is here. I was looking for hard bottom half the night last night and couldn't find any on Gunnerful.
All right, I'm going to the background here. If y'all need anything, let me know.
Oh, there's one. Ah! Policy fish there. That's probably a 18 last play night. Good sign, though. I'll take it. It's quite a ways off the bank, which is strange given the location. we might be on to something now. That's 2 good bites right here close. That one. Giant. He was interested. I have a pretty good feeling, if I remember correctly, there's a spot up here. If this particular area is holding fish, and there should be a good one up here, wherever the spot's at. I can't remember how far it is, but I know what I'm looking for.
Oh my God.
Lose one?
If that was a bass and not a striper, that was huge.
Hit him with the old follow-up Cinco.
So I'm trying to get in there now.
I heard that blow up, I think. Let's go.
Oh no! God! Man. That is...
Y'all get it together. Don't be missing these fish.
I got a good hook set and everything. That sucked. That was a good one.
I'd like to land a couple more of these fish so we can put this thing to rest early.
That may have been a small striper because I just had 4 20-inch stripers swim under the boat.
I gotta see a spot in person one day. You saw a fish, big striper swim underneath your boat, just chilling.
I had a huge loner about 30 inches. Just swim right by my boat a while ago.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, this looks solid. There it was, as soon as I said it. Ah. I don't know what in the freaking crap is happening. I've got a pattern though. Last 2 places I found stumps in this creek, I put 2 really good quality 17 or 18-inch fish. So maybe I can slow down now that I know that's a pattern and flip it instead of throw the jackhammer on it. Ugh, that is frustrating. I don't know if they're hanging around that wood because of the heat or what. And you would think it's not cool enough for that to be an issue, but they certainly are hanging around these here stumps in the river, creek, whatever. I'm about to catch a fish. I'm feeling it. Manifest it. I swear, some days it just does not happen. All right. Piss poor cast on my end for the juice. Another piss poor cast. There we go. All right, go back to the jackhammer. Crazy, man. That's crazy. I think there's a bass boat up here. Might be part of the reason I'm having a little trouble today. With some bites. Somebody done got in here and give him a spook. Got him spooked. Ah, come on. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, we're landing on the small ones and not the good ones. And that is not a good situation. Man, I thought I was getting into something there for a minute. Hooked those two good ones. Feel like I have a pattern together. Start fishing more laydowns, and then it's just kind of nothing. I'm not sure what the problem is. Good thing is this bass boat's coming down the creek. I'm hoping I can kind of slide by him and ease up in here. Or maybe just catch a good one right here, if that looks like a good spot to catch one. Can't seem to get the momentum going today. Break off, get hung, lose a good fish, catch small fish, lose a good fish, catch small fish, break off.
Well, we're up to 10 fish.
What do we have on our 10 fish total?
Right now it is 172 3/4 to 77 1/4. We have 10 fish and the smallest is 14.
Oh gosh, we've got 172 with a 14.
Yeah, the smallest are 14 and 15 1/4.
Well, are they all 10 Coley's fish?
Well, Coley has 156.
Oh, so somebody's got a fish. Is Joe or Lance?
Yeah, somebody's got one. Let me see.
Oh yeah, team effort. The Coosa Kingfishers.
Let me see.
Target. Here you go.
No, you play, bud.
No, it's my last one.
Go ahead. You can play again.
I might restart.
Lance has one.
Oh yeah.
All right. Keep up the work, man. You'll get on them.
Oh yeah. It is. That's all you can do is get the bites. I've gotten a couple good bites. There's a dang bass boat up here. I'm a little see, but I think once I get up past him, this will probably get a lot better. I think.
Sounds good. I'll be in the background.
All right. See you. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, there's a big nest of nopes right there. Nope. Big old hornet's nest in the tree. It's a hard pass. How y'all doing? Can't complain other than I can't catch no fish today. That's solid. That's a real good one for this lake. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna slide on by. What'd you say? Y'all have a good one. Good luck. Yes, sir. Yeah. Y'all have a good one.
Doing it. You're doing it. I don't know where everybody went. We'll get back live here in a minute.
Hey, stop shooting me.